A new series of the British Formula 3 Championship starts here in Rockingham around this tough circuit. This series is the oldest F3 championship in the world and has created more Grand Prix drivers than any other. And that has to be the dream for every one of those drivers on the grid. Who knows, those dreams could come true. They could well go on to join the likes of world champions like Jenson Button, Mika Hakkinen, and of course the legendary Ayrton Senna, who all started here. Only time will tell. So before the action gets underway, let's take a look at some of the class of 2014. Here's Martin Haven.
This is going to be an intense season. Just like every other year, it's going to be tough to win. 2012 Formula 4 Duratec champion Matt Rouse moved up to try his hand at Formula 3.
It's sort of the historic transition, what you do from the old 1990s and stuff like that. You look at Ayrton Senna, you look at Mark Webber, Jenson Button have all done the same thing. So British F3 is, I think something like 5 or 6 drivers in Formula 1 have come through here. So the whole history of the sport, of this particular category, is massive and very important to why we chose to do this championship first.
Edinburgh's Sam McLeod has been quick in pre-season testing. The 19-year-old could be a real contender.
Well, the F3 car is a great car, and it was just the natural progression. I want to race in the FIA Euro Series next year, so I thought it'd be better to spend a year learning the car in a national championship. So I'm competing in a dual program with this and the German F3. So it's just for experience, really, for the rest of my career. You want to win every time you get on track. So obviously that's the goal for the coming races. So we'll see how it lays out.
Can I push you for where you think you're going to finish?
Well, hopefully on the top step, but we'll see, won't we, in a few hours.
Chinese driver Peter Lee made his British F3 debut at Brands Hatch last year. He's returned for a stab at the title.
For me, it's quite a tough job to do Formula 3 because last year I did some GT cars and this year I jumped back to single-seater. For me, I have so many things to learn and excited.
Alice Powell has shown plenty of potential in cars, but she's also attempting to go fast in the Team Great Britain Winter Olympic Trials.
Well, I haven't actually been onto the ice yet, but I missed qualifying this morning because I had started my trials for the Team GB skeleton team in the Winter Olympics.
What are your chances?
Well, there's lots of applicants applying for it for the Power to Podium programme. Chances, there's 600 applicants got through to the first stage of testing, so I'm included. And I think about 200 or 150 I think go through to the next phase. So yeah, I try my best. That's all I can hope for. I'm just gonna, fingers crossed, that I'm gonna get an email back saying I've got through.
Edinburgh teenager Sam McLeod was on pole for the first race of the weekend from teammate Matt Rowe. A good start from the front row men would see them dispute the lead heading into the first corner. Up high went teammate Martin Chow, but it was Rowe who caught the attention, outbraking himself comprehensively. As Rowe fought to recover lost ground, a misjudged move on Peter Lee took himself and the Chinese driver out of the equation. Relaxed and comfortable at speed, Sam McLeod romped away to the checkered flag to take win number 1 of the series, his first ever British Formula 3 Championship victory, to the delight of the Fortec team. 17-year-old Andy Chang claimed third, Martin Chow took second. It was Sam McLeod with the fastest lap, who stood on the top step of the podium.
Lights the flag, you've got to be chuffed with that.
Yeah, I had a great start, I got a big lead. Then unfortunately the safety car came out, so that had me a little bit worried, but then managed to get a good goal from the safety car. And then really the pace was really strong. I was able to cruise to the finish.
It's time for race 2 here at Rockingham, and as you can see, the man at the front is the American Mr. Cameron Kaminsky. Now, we didn't see much of him in the first race, so now is his time to shine, as he is on pole.
Race 2 of the Avon Tyres British Formula 3 Championship, and the man on pole position is Cameron Kaminsky. Top 4 in the random grid reversal means Sam McLeod is 4th on the grid, the race 1 winner. Oh, very slow getaway from the front row men. Andy Chang barely moved at all, and through goes Sam McLeod, the red, white and green. Martin Chow, his teammate behind him, looking for a move down into the first corner. On board with Peter Lee, trying to get through on the inside. High line for Chow, not working. So Sam McLeod, the race 1 winner, is the man in front. Peter Lee behind Andy Chang. And there is Chang, struggled away from the start. Lee looking aggressive. Now has he got fresher tyres on? Tyre management so much a part of this British Formula 3 race weekend. Sam McLeod leading from 57, Martin Chow. Different colours, but the same team, Fortec Motorsport. There is Alice Powell in 4th place. The dark blue car with the white nose. Martin Chow can't allow Sam McLeod to get away here in race 2 as he did in race 1. Well, let's take a look at the start and try and figure out what happened to our front row men. The 2 pale blue and white double R cars barely moved at all, and everybody else swamped them. Cameron Kaminsky stayed in 3rd as Sam McLeod and Martin Chow took the lead. Here's Alice Powell's view. On the right is Sam McLeod. Look at him go, as Chang just sits there going nowhere in a hurry. And Alice moves by into 4th place in the run down to the first braking area. Has to just check up a little bit, going too deep on the inside, nearly ran into the cones. Big lock-up from Martin Chow on the outside. Car number 1, Peter Lee in 6th position. Matt Rao behind him, closing fast. Disappointing start to an emotional weekend for Matt Rao, but has he come down the inside? Yes, he has. This time no contact between them. Well, that's where he took Lee out of the race in race 1, but that is a change for 6th position. Battle for 3rd place. Cameron Kaminsky from the USA. Behind him, Alice Powell takes a low line every time up onto the banking. That really closes the gap on the double R machine in front. Well, she doesn't even get down to the bottom of the first corner before she's gone underneath him. Great pass from Alice Powell, used her momentum, used her traction to take 3rd. Cameron Kaminsky goes high to try and intimidate her under braking. Oh, and further back, right behind them, in fact, Andy Chang under pressure as Matt Rao goes cleanly down the inside again, and he moves up into 5th place. The high-speed banking section here at Rockingham really does provide overtaking. Chang, car number 8 from Macau in China, just 17 years old, the youngest driver in the field. Trying to find a way back by Matt Rao. I'm not sure it's happening for him. He's looking a little sideways and aggressive. That is going to hurt his tyres. Oh, and going off in the dirt. He's going to have a little wide-eyed moment and drop back further from the tail of Matt Rao. Rao picking them off now. Can he attack? Get closer up to those in front. Kaminsky and Powell and Chow. So 2, 3 and 4 are all together. There is the battle for 3rd. Alice Powell, the dark blue car. Whoa, and a mistake. Cameron Kaminsky gets in too hot under braking, and through went Matt Rao. So he was given a freebie there. Now he's chasing 3rd place. Alice Powell in the number 2 car. Rao on a real charge. Not sure his tyres from race 1 would have been in that good a condition after the massive lock-up and the accident, so he may have had to use fresh tyres for race 2. And it looks as though that is working out for him. Moving the car around a lot behind Alice Powell, sliding it off the corners. You can see he is really eager to get by. Carrying a lot of speed through these corners. Medium speed stuff for these Formula 3 cars, but they are nailed to the road by the slick tyres and the aerodynamics. Take a look again at the mistake here from Kaminsky. Gets in on the brakes, still just carrying a little too much speed, and the rear wheels want to carry straight on. He has to back off and sort out the ensuing incident. Alice Powell under pressure for 3rd place then. Can she finish on the podium? Missed out on qualifying. She was at the nearby training facility at Loughborough University trying out for Great Britain's Winter Olympic skeleton squad with freshly minted gold medalist Lizzie Arnold as her inspiration. So whether motor racing goes well for her or not, she seems to be pursuing two career paths at the moment. Mistake there from Matt Rao coming onto the banking. Sam McLeod comfortably out front from Martin Chow. It's as though he is romping away to victory in the second encounter here at Rockingham, as he did in the first. Looking very cool, calm and collected. Look at the body language, nice and smooth. Well, back with Matt Rao after that mistake on the banking earlier on, cost him ground. He is now right behind Alice Powell, the blue car, and second place, Martin Chow is not far away either. Well, Alice Powell in the number 2 car now with the opportunity to be the first British woman to finish on a Formula 3 championship podium. Just a few more corners. She's not going to get to Martin Chow. He's not going to hold her up. So she's got to completely ignore car number 7, Matt Rao, and just concentrate on her line. Well, that is what Sam McLeod is doing as he exits the final corner for the second time this weekend. It's victory for the young Scot. The 19-year-old from Edinburgh wins again. Martin Chow in second and Alice Powell on the podium in third spot. Peter Lee chasing Andy Chang all the way to the line. Doesn't quite get to his fellow Chinese as they go under the starters tower. But it is victory again for Sam McLeod. What a start to the season this young man is having. In third place, Alice Powell, her first British F3 podium. Martin Chow in second, and it's a second straight win for Sam McLeod.
Fourth to first before the first corner. What a start.
Yeah, I had a good start, better than yesterday, and then got in the lead and was able to control the race, drive at my pace, got a gap, and then just kept it pretty safe until the end. So it was quite an easy race again.
Well, congratulations to Sam McLeod, who controlled that one to make it 2 wins out of 2 races. Can he get the hat-trick? Join us and find out after the break.
With Waitrose, Saturdays from 9 on 4.
Welcome back to Rockingham. Now, as we've mentioned before, British Formula 3 has a long history of finding talented young drivers and has in fact been called the University of Motorsport. So let's have a look at how some of our recent graduates have been getting on.
Several of our top drivers have made it all the way to Formula 1. The British F3 class of 2008 has proved very successful. Max Chilton continues racing for the Marussia Grand Prix squad, battling against Marcus Ericsson, who's joined Caterham. Also an F3 race winner in 2008 was Sergio Perez. He switched to Force India for 2014. And 2010 champion Jean-Eric Verne is now well established at Toro Rosso. 2009 British F3 champion Daniel Ricciardo has picked up arguably the top seat on the grid, racing alongside and indeed in front of Sebastian Vettel at Red Bull, replacing Mark Webber, another F3 graduate. And joining them this year is Kevin Magnussen, the 2011 title contender, now races for McLaren alongside Jenson Button. All of which shows that everything you learn in British Formula 3 really can help set you up for a very successful career.
Okay, it's time for race 3 here at Rockingham, and let's just take a look at who's sitting in second. It's young Brit Matthew Rao, who, don't forget, in that second race carved his way through the pack, showed some great driving. He'll be looking to get an excellent start to see he can capitalise. But if he's going to do that, he's got to get past the man of the moment. Sam McLeod has had 2 wins from the first 2 races. Will he get a hat-trick?
Round 3 of the Cooper Tires British Formula 3 Championship. Sam McLeod on pole. Matt Rao alongside him. Good start from Rao. Jumped very quickly away as the lights changed. With Cam Kaminski, another slow start from him. Now who's got the lead? It's Rao. In the distance, Matt Rao from Sam McLeod, Alice Powell trying to go around the outside of us as we ride with Kaminsky. Oh, and a massive error there. McLeod goes straight up the banking and the front of the car is wrecked. So Matt Rao leads, Andy Chang number 8 in second, Peter Lee in third, and Alice Powell in 5th position. She's behind Cameron Kaminsky, didn't get around the high side of the American driver at the first corner. And what happened with Matt Rao and Sam McLeod? Rao was in front. How did McLeod go off? He's lost his wing, he's lost his right front wheel. Let's take a look in front from Kaminsky. Through goes Lee. And at this stage, looking right in front, Rao in front of McLeod. McLeod goes high, forces Rao to cover. Oh, and then he cuts back down and runs over the back of the leader. And that is what ripped the wheel off his car, and with only one wheel at the front, he was never going to get stopped. So Matt Rao survived that, but surely that contact is going to have an adverse effect on the back of the number 7 car. You don't often get away with contact from behind. Chang and Lee, 2nd and 3rd. Battle for 4th. Alice Powell having a look at the inside of Cameron Kaminsky, but also the red, white and black car, Martin Chow right behind. 2nd in both races so far. Chow looking up the inside. Gets his nose out of harm's reach as they get to the last corners on the lap. So Alice Powell feeling the pressure now. And I wonder if Martin Chow has got fresh tyres for this final race of the weekend. Here he comes, look. He's got speed in hand over Alice Powell's dark blue machine. He's just going to move down the inside. Similar battle in front. Chow doesn't get the job done. Powell defending well there. And he eases out onto the curve behind her. So Kaminsky and then Powell and Chow trying to find a way by. Well, Alice Powell raced in the British Formula 3 Cup last year. So very similar cars. She's got experience in GP3 as well. The only woman to score points in the GP3 Championship. In fact, in any Formula 1 support single-seater category in recent memory. So she's definitely got the pace, and the budget of this year's British Formula 3 Championship much more manageable than racing as a Grand Prix support driver. Martin Chow really giving her some harassment. You see how much they've dropped away from the pale blue car of Cameron Kaminsky, and who's that? That's Lee. Dear oh dear, Peter Lee outbraked himself. A little deeper into the corner than Kaminsky did in race 2, but a similar error. And that's cost him just as much ground. Well, there you can see the number 1 Carlin car looks unharmed from that. And the number 2 Carlin car under pressure. Look at the difference between Alice Powell's car and that of Martin Chow coming up the inside. Chow, like almost everybody else in the field in the 2012 Dallara, 2008 spec car of Powell and teammate Peter Lee with a much lower looking nose. That makes them just a little bit more slippery in the air. The newer cars with more aerodynamic downforce, and on the high speed sections of this track, that has worked well for the Carlin drivers. They've been able to hold their own and more on the banking, but here in the twisty stuff, he is leaving Alice Powell behind. So Martin Chow now the man on the move. 4th place for Martin Chow. 3rd place, the pale blue car in front of Cameron Kaminsky. Kaminsky started race 2 on pole and didn't get away strongly in this race either. Not sure whether it's a driver issue or something in the setting up of the double R cars, but they did not make a good start between them in 3 different attempts. Oh, big slide onto the banking from Martin Chow. He's right up behind Cameron Kaminsky. He's going to go for the pass here nice and early into 3rd place as he gets off Speedway Turn 1 long before the braking area, and he's pulling away. Kaminsky in the slipstream still can't get close. That has got to be tyres. Great grip from Chow's car, and he's got to exploit that advantage while it lasts. Tyre management so much a part of these 3 race weekends in British Formula 3. You can't just throw new tyres at the car willy-nilly. Sam McLeod, disappointed spectator, but what an opening weekend he's had. Great pace, 2 race wins. At the moment, as they stand, if it finishes this way, McLeod is going to be right on the top of the points pile, but I fancy Martin Chow is going to have no more problem getting by the pale blue car, number 8 of Andy Chang, than he did of Chang's teammate Cam Kaminski. So here we go again, right behind him up onto the banking. Slipstream starts to work now, and that will aid Martin Chow's speed, and he goes even earlier this time, nice and low, just pinching the white line. Andy Chang tried to defend, made Chow work hard for that, but Chow's car had grip to spare. And again, on the exit of the hairpin, he's just going to drive away, leaving the 2 R drivers to squabble amongst themselves for 3rd place. Replay shows what grip can do for you, whether it's aero, tyre or mechanical setup or a combination of the 3, like taking candy from a baby. Alice Powell chugging into the pits, broken exhaust has cost her any hope of finishing this race, and that's a real shame. Last lap of the race for Matt Rao. Weekend that started with a crash, points in race 2, and now romping away to victory here in race 3. So for Fortec Motorsport, 2 wins with Sam McLeod and now 1 with Matt Rao. They have won all 3 races this weekend, no wonder they look pleased. Martin Chow taking 2nd place, 3 podium finishes for him, and which of the R teammates will get 3rd place? As in race 1, it is going to be Andy Chang, car number 8, just ahead of Cameron Kaminski. They were 3rd and 4th then, 3rd and 4th again, but it's win number 1 of the season for Matt Rao. So Andy Chang, Martin Chow on the podium in 3rd and 2nd, but the end of an emotional week for Matt Rao as he wins his first race in British Formula 3.
You looked very strong in the 2nd race, but that one was brilliant. I mean, what a lead. It was all about the first turn.
Yeah, we got a brilliant start. I mean, all weekend we've been trying to perfect how we do the starts because it's a brand new machine for me, and yeah, we just launched off and it was like a rocket ship. And yeah, we jumped Sam, and then when we got to the first corner, I'm not sure what happened. I'll have to look at some video and find out, but yeah, I just kept my head down and just banged in some consistency lamps, and then it was all good from there.
Well, Matt Rao won 1 race, Sam McLeod 2, but that wasn't enough to take the points lead. 3 second places from Martin Chow sees him on top of the table.
Well, British Formula 3 is back, and now we've seen how the teams and drivers have fared here at Rockingham. It'll be fascinating to see how they get on at their next destination, Silverstone. We'll see you there.